to make the opening comments before we start off the proceedings.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I know it's a little far away from where all of you work, but thank you for doing or making the trek this far. Well, we've had this speculation going on for many months now, and we've read all kinds of news in the media. So the genie is out of the bottle now. So we're finally showcasing our mentor and for Delhi Daredevils. In the recent years, Delhi as a franchise is is one of the franchises that operates in one of the big cities, Delhi, and being the capital, the fans have always had high hopes and wanting Delhi to do well. So we started on a path. We've had a finally, as they say, you always come back home when you want to experience the best. So we've come back home, and we have Rahul with us. So without taking any more further thing, I'll give it to you, and then you can pass it on to Rahul. Yeah.
So I now request Mr. Dua to hand over the jersey of Delhi Daredevils to Rahul so that we can welcome Rahul formally into the Delhi Daredevils family. And Mr. Shekhar, yeah. Thank you. I would now request Rahul to make some initial comments before we open the floor for the media to ask questions.
Like Hemant said, thank you all for being here. For me, it's a privilege and an honor to be associated with the Delhi Daredevils. It's an exciting opportunity. It's something that I'm looking forward to. Right through the IPL, you've always looked at Delhi, and I've obviously never had the opportunity to play in Delhi, but I've played against Delhi a lot, coached against Delhi. And you've always looked here and recognized that there is so much potential, so much opportunity, and some very good players and a very good franchise to work in. To be given the opportunity to work at Delhi Daredevils for me is quite exciting. I think Delhi Daredevils have assembled what I believe is a young, exciting squad for the season ahead. And I'm looking forward to, along with Paddy Upton and Zubin Barucha and the rest of the support staff that's already present at Delhi, which is Shekhar and Praveen and Sriram, in hopefully having a really successful season, a season that the fans and the people of Delhi are proud of, not necessarily so much in results, but also in the quality and the way we play our cricket. So really looking forward to the season ahead.
Thanks a lot, Rahul. The floor is now open for questions. Who wants to go first? Shazia, can you just pass the mic on to her?
The question is for Mr. Dua and Rahul, for you as well. Will this association be short-term or long-term?
We've just made the beginning. So when Rahul's known as the wall, right? And that means that he's always played long innings. So we hope he's going to have a really long inning with us.
Look, I think everything is dependent on a lot of things, and I think you take one step at a time. So I'm really looking forward to this season. Like I said in my initial comments, I'm looking forward to the next 3 months with the Delhi Daredevils, and hoping that they're successful and we'll take the future as it comes.
Karishma?
My question is to you, sir. You've had a long stint with Rajasthan Royals, first as playing for them and then as a coach and mentor. What were the reasons that you took up this job at Delhi Daredevils?
Well, I must say that I really enjoyed my time at Rajasthan Royals. There was no doubt that it was a very special part of my life, and I worked with some very good people there, and it was a lot of really fond memories that I hold of my time there. It's pretty obvious the reasons why the opportunity came up here this time at Delhi in terms of my availability. Rajasthan is not involved in the IPL over the next couple of years. And so the opportunity came up, and I'm excited to be working with Delhi. To get the opportunity to work at Delhi is for me something special, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, hi, Boydurjo this side from Mail Today. Rahul, recently Dhoni spoke about how, as a human being, it's very obvious that you will be attached to the old franchise. Does that work the same way for you, where you have your heart still beating for Rajasthan somewhere?
Look, I mean, I think it's natural what Dhoni said. When you spend 5 years in any organization, in any place, there are memories, like I said, you associate with it. There are very fond memories. Like I said, there's some very good people that I worked with, and there were some very good people there. But I'm looking forward to building those same memories and great associations here, which I'm sure of. Like I said, I've known some of the people at Delhi for a long time. I've always admired the way they functioned and the way they worked, and I'm looking forward to adding to that group, and hopefully we have a much better season this year than we've had in the last one.
Aruni?
Rahul sir, the Deadly Daredevils has a barrage of wicket keepers. Yeah, so so how do you plan to? How would you handle a Rishabh Pant or a Sanju Samson in that case?
Yeah, I think it's. I think and my limited wicket keeping ability adds to it as well. So I'm not. Look, no, I know there are. I mean, there's some very good quality. There are 3 quality wicket keepers, and Quinton de Kock, Sanju Samson, and Rishabh Pant in the side. So. I think it's an advantage to have 3 quality players. I think the positive in that is that all 3 of them are very, very good batsmen. All 3 of them are very good batsmen. They hold their own as batsmen in most teams. So it's you might end up seeing that one of them or 2 of them might actually end up playing as batsmen, and the other one will wicket keep. So it's a luxury to have that. The Sam Billings as well, another foreign signing from England, who's again for England he doesn't keep a lot because Joss Butler keeps. He plays as a batsman. So all 4 of them in fact are very good fielders and good batsmen as well. So it's not really much of an issue for me in that sense.
Rahul, coming back to the old question, like you said yourself that you've seen Delhi over the years, even though you haven't been associated with it. And we've always had this impression that you're someone who does a lot of homework. So where do you think things went wrong for Delhi over the years, and where do you want to put your foot down and take things forward?
Look, I think it's very hard, sitting in the outside to actually put your finger on exactly where things have gone wrong. I'm also realistic to realize that sometimes in the T20 game, the very nature of the game is that it's extremely fickle, and you might have all your plans, you might put things in place, but sometimes it just doesn't work. I think Delhi was unlucky last year that they lost a few close games, including one against us. We chased Rajasthan Royals chased 180 in Kotla in the early part of the season, and you get 1 or 2 of those results falling your way, and the whole season can be different and things can change. So look, sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that things are drastically wrong when results don't go your way. What I will say is that we will try and create a really good environment this year at Delhi, which hopefully allows your players to express themselves, to play with freedom, and play a brand of cricket that will hopefully excite the fans and the public of Delhi.
Bharat?
This is Bharat from PTA. A question for Rahul sir. There are a lot of, some of the Rajasthan players have been bought by Delhi Daredevils, and the combination of coach and mentor remains the same. So your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I wasn't obviously involved in the auction process at all. But Zubin, who's worked with me before, was involved. But I think the team that was involved in the auction process, which included Kiran and Hemant and Shekhar here and Praveen and Sriram, obviously spent quite a bit of time doing a lot of research, looking at a lot of domestic young talent. And the decision they took was to go down a younger route and a slightly more youthful route this time, which I'm excited about, and which is something that excited me about actually the opportunity to work with Delhi Daredevils as well.
Chetan?
Rahul, hi. Chetan Narula from Anand Bazar Patrika. At Rajasthan Royals, you've worked with a lot of youngsters, and some of them are knocking on the doors of international cricket. Sanju Samson was involved in the ODI squad, Karun Nair in the Test squad, although they haven't gone on yet to make their debuts. You've also worked with the India A kids, and now again, almost this similar setup, considering that some of the youth from Rajasthan Royals has come over to Delhi Daredevils. So my question is basically that in what way do you think the IPL has benefited these young players? What have you seen from your time which is perhaps different considering that the way they have shaped up, playing with different personalities from all over world cricket?
Yeah, I think one of the big things about the IPL is the exposure that it gives to a lot of these young players. I mean, just the sheer level of confidence that you see in some of these young boys. Just the fact that they play in front of 50, 60,000 people. And there's a certain amount of pressure associated with each and every game. When you perform under those kind of situations, you perform under pressure, it gives you a level of confidence, it gives you a level of belief that you see in someone which is so very young, which probably in my generation we probably didn't have that kind of exposure to that kind of that kind of pressure, that kind of education, if you can put it. I think the opportunity for a lot of the younger players to interact with so many players from across the world, so many senior Indian players, the kind of quality of coaching and the kind of professional help that a lot of them get at the franchises, I think goes a long way in benefiting them in their careers. And you're seeing a lot of the players going on. And I wouldn't just say that the IPL is the only reason for it. They spend 8 months playing Ranji Trophy and first class cricket as well. So that has a big role to play in their development as well. But there's no doubt that they get an almost international-like experience, playing in a domestic T20 competition, which is the IPL, which is phenomenal for so many of the young Indian players.
Vaidurjo?
Yeah. Rahul, over the last couple of years, we've seen that Delhi has really gone in for those icon players, which didn't really work for us. But this time around, we've seen it's more of a youth-centric team, like you also said. How much do you think it really impacts? Like you said, it is a very fickle format. I mean, does it really matter if you have those icons, or is it more about handy guys who are performing?
Well, it doesn't really matter whether it's I don't like to rate people as icons or not as icons. I think, obviously there are some players who are more experienced, who have played the format more, who have achieved at the format, and no one becomes an icon just like that. He earns the right to do it. But in the end, I think in a short tournament like this, it's really about, it is about performance, and irrespective of who you are, you have to perform, and it is really about a performance-based game. We've seen a lot of the young players coming in and performing. There are times that the top players perform as well. And I think it's just a question of finding that balance. It's just a question of finding that kind of finding the balance in the team. Well, I will say that, I mean, when people mention of Delhi as a youthful young side, I mean, look at the likes of Quinton de Kock and JP Duminy and Coulter Nile, and these are all established international players. So they have Imran Tahir as well. So they've got a lot of established international players as well. It's not just about only youngsters in the team. So it's a good balance, I think, which is what's exciting.
Last three, Karishma first.
Rahul, so Delhi did buy Pawan Negi, who went on to become the second costliest buy of the IPL auctions this year. He's really not played much of first-class cricket, only Chennai Super Kings. Do you think he commanded such a prize money of 8.5 crores?
Look, I think, the important thing is auctions can be very dynamic. Auctions can be very... I don't think you should judge a value of a player by the money that he commands in an auction. I think sometimes, I wasn't involved in this auction, but I've been in enough auctions to know that sometimes, the price that you get in auctions, the price that sometimes you don't get in an auction is not actually the value of your quality as a player. Sometimes it's just the nature of the auction. Sometimes, where your name comes out, what happens, what people are looking for. So I don't think, and I don't like to judge people by the money that they have got. Pawan is an exciting young player from Delhi. He's shown with the Chennai Super Kings that he can be an explosive lower order batsman. He bowls handy left arm spin, which is what the selectors have seen. That is what they've selected him in the Indian team for. And we hope that he'll produce some of those same performances here at Delhi. And I think he's a young kid in his journey. I think from my perspective, I don't think he has to try and justify the price that he's got. He's just got to try and learn and enjoy his cricket, because he's in the early stage of his career. And if he learns and he enjoys his cricket, I think good things will happen.
Also, there is a trend setting in that T20 specialists are picked for the Indian team for T20s. So how do you handle young kids coming from under 19s, and how do you what do you tell them that don't focus on T20s only and play for Test cricket as well?
I mean, there are many examples though in the same T20 side of players who are very successful in Test cricket. I mean, we tend to focus, yes, on the T20 specialists, but we also tend to forget that there are guys like Virat Kohli and Shikhar Dhawan and Mahendra Singh Dhoni who's played 90 Test matches. There's you know, Ajinkya Rahane, who's had an incredible year in all the three formats of the game. So there are good enough examples in the same team of people who succeed in all the three formats of the game and perform and play for India in all the three formats of the game. So my advice to a lot of young cricketers is to aspire to play in all the three formats of the game, because, you know, I think why sell yourself short, and why want to play only one format of the game for India? Why not try and play all three and aspire to be that?
Final question, Vivek?
Like maybe Rahul Dravid can revive the team, and what do you have to say about Team India's performance?
I wish it was just no. Look, I don't think it adds any pressure or less pressure. I think there's a certain amount of pressure in the IPL. It comes with the territory. I've been around long enough to know that. But what I do know is that, you know, what we will try and do is, as a support staff and as a coaching staff and as a management, we'll try and create the best possible atmosphere, the best possible environment, give the players the best possible chance to perform and play good cricket for themselves and for the public of Delhi. That is what is really in your control.
What do you have to say about Team India's performance recent?
So, I didn't hear.
My question is from Shekhar sir. So with recurring injury to Shami, do you think he will be fit on time for IPL? And second question is on Zahir Khan. This year also we would see him as a bowling mentor.
Yeah, definitely, because Zahir is a guy who is very important for the team bowling, and he can mentor the young bowlers and in the team. And he's raring to go, and then he has retired from all forms of the international cricket. And as far as Shami is concerned, I think we have to wait and see. I don't know exactly what position he is. I think he is under the supervision of National Cricket Academy. Hopefully he should be fit, because he's a very good bowler, and then he's a wicket-taking bowler. Even the Indian team is waiting for his fitness.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks a lot, Rahul.